Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Offside Rule, hosted by myself, Yan City or Yannicka, and I'm joined again by the lovely Lambs and Shal. So we're going to talk FA Cup today. Obviously, Chelsea have just won their game, but we'll just go through the results. Obviously, we won't discuss all of them because it's long. But it was Burnley 0, Bournemouth 2. So Bournemouth are through. There was Man United 1, West Ham 0. I don't know if you watched that game, Shal. I watched some of it, but it was very...
I didn't really watch it, to be fair. The only games I watched was the Man U one.
Yeah.
And the Man City one.
Yeah. What did you take of the Man United game? Because obviously, from what I saw, the Man United game was long. Like, there was just nothing going on.
The Man United game was really poor until Scott McTominay came on, and Scott McTominay genuinely saved Man United. Like, the man deserves like a chocolate coin, because we don't do medals, we do chocolate coins. Like, we're not about medals. You can't eat medals. You can eat chocolate. Like, that's what we're all about. Yeah, it wasn't the best from Man U. Like, we've seen such good performances from them, and it came to a chance where they could get a trophy. They seemed to kind of stutter a little bit, which concerned me. But then Scott McTominay came on and he got the goal, and that was great. Like, you can't fault him. Like, he really brought he brought this energy, this kind of want that they hadn't had. Like, they've been trying, but there was no want, if that makes sense. Like, Scott McTominay came on and wanted a goal, and he got a goal. I don't think Rashford was good. Lindelof was great. Lindelof did a good job. That's about as far as I can go. The good job is about all I can go for Lindelof. But yeah, no, it was really poor from everybody else. McTominay and Lindelof were very good. And then everyone else was just kind of average, which was disappointing, because you'd think for a cup match that Man U would actually turn up. But then I can say the same against Chelsea. Like, I'm not being biased here. Like, everyone's going to come at me and be like, oh, but you're just against Man United. No, I'm just telling you straight. Like, Chelsea, we have a cup opportunity and we didn't turn up today. So we're all both in the same boat.
Yeah, I thought... from what I saw, West Ham didn't look great. I don't think they had a shot, or if they did have a shot, there wasn't many.
No.
So, did you watch the game last Man United against West Ham?
Yeah, I did actually. I was laughing because, like, I jumped onto like the live stream to laugh at the Man United fans. I was just like, the longer it stays 0-0, I'm thinking, okay, West Ham probably going to score. It's going to go to extra time and penalties, and you guys are going to lose. And I'm here for it. I'm here to witness the pain on your faces, live in action and in full effect, right? As you can imagine, I felt like an idiot when McTominay scores, because they're all there cheering on the stream, and I'm just like, well, my plan backfired. But yeah, I have to agree with like Charles, to be honest. I mean, I expected them to win the game anyway, but the fact that we know West Ham actually are a good team, they're a decent team. The way West Ham came and set out, it was like they were playing for that draw. Like, they wanted it to go to extra time and penalties, because, I mean, like you guys said, they barely had like a shot on target or any really shots on goal. I mean, Henderson didn't really have much to do, but when he was called into action, it was pretty basic for him, really and truly. Even Bruno Fernandes, when he came on, he didn't make the difference. Obviously, judging by his standard, United fans and even us rival fans, we put a lot of stock on Bruno. We expect a lot from him. So for him to not turn up again, McTominay's the one that ended up making a difference. Martial, poor, missing chances. Rashford, poor. Van der Beek, missing. I don't know. Questions need to be asked. Is it because he's not getting enough minutes? He's not getting enough game time? That's something probably to do with behind the scenes. But then again, he is a young and upcoming player as well. And that's my thing with Manchester United, is that they tend to go missing in these cup games, these tournament games as well. And this is why I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the one who's going to take them to that next level to win and stuff as well. Because, I mean, when your strikers can't get you goals, then there's a problem there. I know I'm one to talk, considering we're struggling to get goals as well, and our strikers aren't turning up as well. But these strikers have turned up. It's just they're inconsistent. Some days they'll show up. Rashford will be amazing, and then other days he'll just go completely missing. I mean, you saw at the beginning of the season he got off to such a slow start as well. Everyone was like, okay, like obviously amazing what he's doing off the pitch. That's like completely commendable. Commend him for that completely. But in the beginning, at the start of the season, performances on the pitch were very, very, very poor. And then he stepped it up and he turned it around. But now it's very much hit and miss. You don't really know what Rashford is going to turn up. Likewise, if Bruno doesn't turn up, if Rashford doesn't turn up, if Pogba doesn't turn up, then Manchester United just kind of fall apart, really and truly.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think they really do miss Pogba when Pogba doesn't play, because he's been really good for them in their midfield. So I think, yeah, they definitely miss him. But we'll move on now to the next game, which was Man City 3, Swansea 1. Did you girls watch the game?
Yes, I did. You know, Swansea impressed me. I thought in the first half, Swansea impressed me. Like, I'm not even going to lie. Swansea genuinely impressed me. I generally thought Man City were going to absolutely dominate. Swansea weren't going to have a chance. But actually, Swansea came out bloody fighting. Like, in the first half, they really did. Like, however much possession you had, they still had their chances and they got their goal. Like, and you give them respect for that because they got a goal against Man City. This is Swansea getting a goal against Man City. Like, respect to them for that. And then you came out and you decided to get 3 goals. And I was like, oh, okay. This ended really quickly. Like, okay. I think after this, like, the first goal, they were still fighting. But the second goal kind of just nailed it in the coffin. And then the third was just dead. Like, there was game over for them. Like, they were just counting down the minutes till it, like, was ending. But overall, like, I was surprised with City in the first half, though. Like, I thought they were going to come out fighting properly, but in the first half, like, it was kind of like a 50-50 with Swansea and, like, City. I felt like it was just going back and forth. And Swansea were putting up a fight, which I don't think City expected, just because they've been so much on form at the minute that I wasn't expecting the fight to actually be taken to them. Not many teams have done that at the minute. For a team like Swansea to take it to City for 45 minutes, respect to them. But yeah, no, you guys won, and it was a good game. Like, but I'm gonna say respect to Swansea because for a team like that, they really did.
I like the fact that they came and played football against. Well, we went there and they played football against us, because a lot of teams they try and like park the bus, but they didn't do that, which I like.
But I thought it was literally just going to be like you annihilating them, like with goals. But the fact that they like put up a fight, because how many teams in the Premier League have not put up a fight against Man City? And a team like Swansea is putting up a fight, like a proper fight. I was like, yes, Swansea, you go ahead. Like, you give Pep a fight. You give him a fight. Like, you show them who you are.
Yeah, because they are a good side, because that's why Pep went so strong. Because a lot of people thought Pep put a lot of youth in, but he knew he was going to get a good fight from Swansea. So he played a strong team, and obviously it paid off in the end. I always believe that it's better to start strong and then take players off and rest them, rather than starting weaker and then having to bring on people from the bench, because it doesn't always work. Did you watch it, Lambs? What was your take on the game?
I mean, City are back. Obviously, breaking records. That's now 15 games won in a row, which is unbelievable. Everything is theirs to lose right now, because they are literally in prime position for every single competition that they're currently involved in at the moment. Even with all the changes that City made still such a strong team. I mean, I'm looking at that lineup and I'm just like, wow, that's like most of their bench players, and they're still good enough to walk into most of these supposed top sixes first teams. I mean, that just goes to show you the squad depth in City. And they got the job done quite early, got most of the goals in the first half, meaning that, you know, like exactly like you said, Jan, they could take off their players, you know, like Gundogan, Mahrez. Sorry, I think they brought on Mahrez actually, but players like Gundogan, who's obviously been like very, very important to them thus far as well. And like Preston, because that's it, you know, the job is done, the win is secured. So, I mean, yeah, but fair play to Swansea, because, you know, they didn't just kind of just sit back and defend and play for a draw and just hope for a bit of luck in extra time or penalties or anything like that. Yeah, they did actually try and play City, which is fair play, but at the end of the day, nobody's gonna like get on to you because it's City. So you lost to a very, very good City side, who are unbelievable. Like I said, I don't know who's stopping them. I can't see anybody stopping them right now. It makes me sad because I'm looking at City and I'm just like, oh, this is what I wish Chelsea could be. Like even when we rotated our team, like the players that I expected that were playing today, I expected them to perform the way City did against Swansea with the changes that they made as well. But we're just not quite on that level yet, and I know that's going to take time. But I know we have that potential. I just need goals. Like City, it's just so easy to get goals. I mean, Gabriel Jesus, who gets a lot of stick for, you know, supposedly being this backup striker, not being able to get goals. The guy's getting goals now.
Even Gundogan is getting goals. Like, when did he decide to get goals? Like, I'm sorry, hun. Like, you've turned up and decided to get goals. It's like everyone's like, oh, I want to get a goal now. Like, I'm pretty sure eventually your goalkeeper is going to be getting goals because he's going to be like, well, everyone else is getting goals. Excuse me, I want a goal too. Like,
it's funny that you said that actually, because he's because obviously we keep missing penalties. He's itching to take penalties, and Pep's actually said now that he might let him, so we might see him get goals. But I think City, like, we did struggle at the start of the season to score goals. We weren't very clinical, but I think it's just everyone's kind of turned up now. Everyone's been a lot more clinical. I think that goal from Gabby was unreal. I love that. The goal from Kyle Walker, was it a cross? Was it a shot? Probably a cross.
I don't know.
Do you know what? I just say it's a bit of both. I just say he was tactically trying to do a bit of both, and that he was going to take whichever one it came across as, and he was going to take credit for that. So,
because he looked kind of surprised. He was like, "Okay, cool.
Yeah, that happened. Okay, cool story."
And it's crazy though, because you're right though. Like everyone at City like scores. Like that's his second goal of the season, I think. Kyle Walker. So it's just like, it's crazy. John Stones, I think, had 3 goals in January. Just madness. I think Diaz hasn't scored yet. And obviously, but there's a few players that haven't scored, but most of our team have scored. So, yeah, it's just been mad. I think City are very strong. Obviously, the team that we played was strong. And it's just the only issues that we would have had would be with the defence because they were a little bit thrown together. But yeah, apart from that one goal, kind of a mistake from Gomez, but he's young. He looks tiny in that midfield with the rest. So I don't really blame him for that. And then Garcia could have maybe done better, but again, you know, it was a good goal from them. So yeah, I can't really complain about City. I'll just some of the comments before we move to the next game. So Indiana, big up to him, says make sure you also like people. Yeah, make sure you do that. 1 second. Jeremiah says big up girls, big up to you.
Yeah, Jerry was United fans who I intended to laugh at during the stream, but that backfired.
I've been on his neck anyway. So he's City win the league. I'm having a party, and he's gonna come on. Indiana says he wants the. Jeremiah says, "I want the Premier League. That's all I want." Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Jeremiah one of those ones who's like 21's coming, 20, and I'm like 21 is not coming.
No, literally. Leicestershire.
He says it's not over. We'll see. It's still a long way, but I think I can't see them winning it.
The only way I can see them winning it is if they play you and beat you. That's the only way that I can see. Like, and I don't see that happening in any time soon. But that's kind of the only way that I can see it happening.
Like,
the thing with Man United though is they would probably go and beat Man City and then lose the next week. So I think even if they beat us, they probably still won't do it because in the other games that they're expected to win, like Sheffield United, they're not quite winning. So I don't know. Obviously, it's a long time away till the end of the season. We'll have to see. But I think City will drop points. But I can't see.
Not against Spurs, though.
Yeah.
You can't drop. So there are a few teams that you can't drop points against. You can't drop points against Spurs. You can't drop points against Liverpool. You can't drop points against United. You definitely can't drop points against Leicester. You can drop points against Chelsea, though. Absolutely drop points against Chelsea. That is the only team I give you permission to drop points against.
In fact, we encourage it.
We encourage it. We pray for it. We pray for it. We encourage
in the comments, please speak it into existence for us. Thank you.
Yeah, pray for us.
The rivals don't need any more prayers. We need it now.
Yeah, like we need it, hun. Thank you. Like bringing prayers for Chelsea.
Big up to him. He says Leicestershire Rovers will be 8th after they lose this weekend and we beat Newcastle on Monday.
Woohoo! I mean, I'm praying we beat Newcastle after the game we've just seen. Like,
we could be all right. You know what? To be fair, like when we played Tottenham in the last round, like that was a harder game for us than other games. So you never know. You might get a harder team on paper, but you play a lot better. So I don't know. Valvachan says, Jan, you should thank me. Ever since I called Gundogan a chubby Zaka, he became the best midfielder in the league so far. Do you know what I like?
If you could just call Chelsea the shittest team in the world so they start playing great again, we will take that. Or tell Chelsea they're not clinical enough.
Yeah, call Timo a terrible striker. And call another Torres, let's go. And then suddenly he's going to start firing. Let's do this.
Literally. There's a list of players I need to improve.
One by one.
Winter Surf says, big up to all the panel, big up to you. Bits and Baz, big up to him, says, evening ladies. Ladamus Prime says, happy belated Jan, thank you very much. Valvashanu in reply to what you said, he said Chelsea are a small club and will finish 7th.
So does this mean that Chelsea are a big club and are going to finish 4th? This is what I'm taking from it. You know
what, Charles? Velvashwan's just bitter because he understands that we're 1 point behind them now and Liverpool are just...
He also understands that Liverpool are not fighting for top 4 or the Premier League title anymore. They're actually fighting for Europa League now. So this is what happens because my bet is that Liverpool, and I will say this with chest now, Liverpool are going to finish 5th and they will join Europa League. So enjoy that one.
Who makes top 4? Who takes their spot in the 4th place then?
I think Leicester or Everton.
I would go for Everton more than Leicester just because we have a bit of a history of bottling it.
Either one of them. Leicester could turn up again with Vardy back, so you never really know. I'm never going to rule them out. No, everyone ruled them out for the Premier League title and they did it, so I'm never going to rule them out. But as far as I'm concerned, Liverpool aren't making top 4.
We'll have to see. Will says, big up everyone. And Lincoln says, all right, everyone.
Yeah.
1 second, I'll just see what the next game is. So the next game was Leicester 1, Brighton 0. I know Colette scored very, very late on. Didn't watch the game, but it was like 90 plus 4. So apparently he said he was cold and he didn't want to do extra time, so he scored. But yeah, it was a header. Did any of you watch the game?
I did actually. Yeah. Brighton, and it frustrates me because like I really love Brighton. Like they're one of those teams that I really want. I want them to do well. Like I want them to stay up. I don't want them to get relegated because they do play like really nice football. Like it's really attractive football. They create a lot of chances. You know, they're fun to watch. They're not like some of those other typical teams like Stoke or Burnley, West Brom. Just play like that dirty football. Like and it's just just park the bus and low block and just that old school type of like fossil football, basically. Yeah. So I really want Brighton to do well, but they create so many chances and then they miss so many of them. They just don't take their chances. And that's what really annoys me because I'm just kind of like, oh, this is why you're in the position that you are. Because if they literally took half the chances that they created, then I reckon Brighton will probably be maybe 13th, 14th or something. They'll be a little bit higher than they are in the table, but they are close to that relegation spot. But obviously, thankfully, the gap difference between them and Fulham is quite large because the teams below them have just been shocking, and they're probably all going to get relegated. But I saw this coming. I thought Brighton would give them a good game, and fair play to them, they did. They let Leicester have the ball, and they hit them on the break, and they were amazing on the counter attack. The way they were spreading the ball, it was great. I thought Trossard was great. He had a great game. It's just they're just not clinical enough, and every time they kept on missing those chances, I was like, because towards the end, Leicester kind of kept coming and they were pushing, and I was like, okay, it's coming. I think it's coming. I thought, okay, maybe they might have done enough to take it to extra time, and then they can regroup. And then when I saw that corner coming in and I saw the space that Iheanacho had, I was like, it's in. And then it went in and I was just like, because it was literally on the 94th minute. He was just about to blow the whistle and I was just like, oh, Brighton. Oh, Brighton. But I expected it. The thing is with Leicester is that against better opposition, will they bottle it? Because they have gone further in other like cup competitions, and again, like the thing I'm going to really judge Leicester on is their performances and how they do, say, after March, because that was kind of like their drop-off period last season. So we'll see if they can keep this up.
Yeah, I like the way Brighton play. Like they play good football. It's a shame that they're kind of where they are because they're not like you say, they're not like a Burnley who it's like, oh, get them out the league. So yeah, I think. There's Sheffield United 1, Bristol City 0. Don't know if anyone watched that one. There was another big game, which was Everton 5, Tottenham 4.
Oh, I watched this game. I watched this one. I was watching this game. I mean, I said the minute it was 2-1, I said, this is going to be a big goal game. And what happened? 9 goals. I was loving life. I was like, who's going to win? Who is it? Mourinho. My favourite moment of the match, Bernard gets his goal. Yeah. Camera pans to Ancelotti. He's just drinking his Bovril like a bad man. Like, yeah, I'm just it's just my Bovril. Doesn't care that there's a goal gone in. He's more interested in his Bovril. Like, not even a care in the world. Man's a legend. But I mean, yeah, it was poor. That was a poor goal from the Bernard goal. Like, it was poor defending, to be fair. Like, really poor. I think neither team played incredibly well because we let 4 goals in each way. Like Spurs 5. The only thing I can say about Spurs is that they didn't get 1 goal and then park the bus. Like, that was a difference in Spurs. I think you have to remember with Mourinho, he does play he is a defensive player. Like, he doesn't play like attacking, he plays defensive and you work forwards. I think people have to remember that. And the Spurs squad he's got isn't the best. You basically have Harry and Son carrying you. Like, it's not great. The Everton team really impressed me. Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, Sigurdsson, Bernard, like, like even Alex Iwobi impressed me. I was like, oh, I remember that kid from Arsenal. Yeah, I remember that kid. Yeah, he impressed me. Like, the Everton overall deserved it, to be fair, in my opinion. I think Spurs towards the last half an hour, like, they got the goal in the first extra time and the first 15 of the extra time, and Spurs just didn't, their chances were there and they just didn't take it. And for me personally, that shows that Everton deserved it, because Everton were fighting, and if you're not going to take the chances that you're given, then Everton win it. Like, and that's what happened. I think Everton deserved it in the last half an hour. In the 90 minutes, I couldn't decide who I was going to pick to win. I was like, whew, can it? But no, Everton showed in the last half an hour that they definitely wanted it more, because they defended their asses off. Like, they really did. Like,
yeah, it's interesting because a lot of Spurs fans were complaining about the way Jose set up, being very defensive, sort of getting one goal and then parking the bus. And it seemed like they changed how they played for that game. And obviously, although they scored more, they conceded a lot more. So I don't know.
Yeah, it worked both ways.
Fans will think of that. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that they were like concerned, because even though they were getting goals, they were also like at the 90 minutes they conceded the same amount that they got in. Like, but then again, you can't really blame Mourinho when he's working with a defense like Spurs have got. Like, can you blame the whole situation on Mourinho? I'm not saying he could have partial blame for how he put the team out on that, but I don't particularly think you can blame Mourinho for the fact that he's got a team that, let's be real, is pretty shit. Like, you've got Son, you've got Kane, like Gareth Bale I haven't seen. He's not that good anymore since Real Madrid. So, I mean, he's not particularly working with the best team in the world. Like Lamella's turned up sometimes in the big games last season and the season before, but he hasn't really turned up this season. I don't even know he's on the pitch. But you have to you've got Lloris in goal. Lloris conceded 5 goals. Why is the blame not on the defence and the goalkeeper? That is my concern. Is that they just go straight to blaming Mourinho? Like, why are they not calling out the players that actually are making the mistakes? Calling out the goalkeeper because the goalkeeper made mistakes on 2 of the goals. Yeah, maybe three if I'm trying to be generous here. But why are we not calling Lloris out? Why are we not calling the defence out? That's what I'm confused about. The blame goes straight to Mourinho, and every fan that's come at us for just blaming Lampard, every Spurs fan that's come at us for just blaming Lampard and saying that we think that the manager's the problem. You guys are doing the same thing. You guys are literally doing the same thing that we were doing. Like, I'm calling you out now.
Yeah, it's interesting because I almost feel like the way Jose is, because people were kind of demanding that he changes his style, I feel like he almost probably went out there and thought, okay, let's attack, go and attack. And then basically to prove his tactics right, as if to say, I know what I'm doing. But I think the Spurs team, like you say, they aren't good enough to do what he wants to do. He would probably want to be I know he's a defensive manager, but he probably wants to be a little bit more attacking. But because of the players they've got, they can't really afford to be. So what do you think, Lam?
Look at the team that he had against Chelsea when he was at his prime, and look at the team he's got now. Even the team at Man United, yes, I'm defending Jose for one reason. It's the manager issue. I'm not one of them, thank you very much. But I'm going to defend people when they deserve to be defended. And when they don't deserve to be defended, I'll call them out. But as far as I'm concerned, the defence and the goalkeeper should be taking 80% to 90% of the responsibility.
Yeah. Fair enough. What do you think, Lam?
I was really just sitting there listening to it because I can't disagree with anything that Charles said, and even what you said, Jan, as well. Like, it's just, I mean, Davinson Sanchez, I don't even really know how to feel for the guy, because had a great game, like in terms of scoring the goals, and then he messed up by making those defensive errors. So then I'm just kind of like, that's a shame. But again, I do understand Charles' point, because I mean, you lose a few key players, and when they went on that run where they ended up being top of the league for a little bit, they got a few good results in at that point as well. I mean, the new signings were working with his current players. Obviously he wanted to build this team around Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, and their partnership, literally since the beginning of the season, they've just thrived. Like the way they just bounce off each other, the communication, understanding between them, like is amazing. It's one of the best partnerships, I'd say, in the Premier League at the moment. When Son makes a run, Harry Kane just puts the ball. He doesn't even need to look up because he knows where he is, and vice versa. Like, them two just know each other very well. When one of them's got the ball, the other one's just instantly running into space. So it's like when you take one of them away from that partnership, it kind of falls apart. And that's why when you took Kane away, Tottenham kind of suddenly didn't really know what to do, didn't really have a plan B. And he tried a new style. And in the last 3 games, he's scored more goals in this game, even though they ended up losing, than he has in the last 3 games, which means, fair enough, he did something new and it works, but it also meant that it exposed his defensive frailties, and we already know he was defensively frail. When you're playing people like Aurier, when you're playing people like Dyer, Davis, in your defence, you lose a good left back in Reguilon because of injury. Don't have that. Suddenly really see the frailties in their defence, and I'm just kind of like, ugh. I understand. Like, I remember Eleanor just freaking out when she was seeing like what was it, Ben Davis and Matt Doherty. She was like, oh my god, oh my goodness. And I was like, I get it, I feel you, because if I saw those two in my defence, I'd be freaking out. I mean, me and Charlotte already like tearing our hair out when we look at our defence and we're like, oh my god, Thiago Silva, oh my god, I don't trust any of these defenders, any of them, not Rudiger, not Christensen, not even Zuma has the mistake, but him and Thiago Silva are our best centre-back pairing so far, which says a lot. And then it just brings us back to that whole Tomori situation, how we could have handled that better as well. But the difference between Lampard and Jose, and why we were all Lampard out, like Lampard really, really out, is because Lampard got fully backed. He got every single player that he wanted to get. I'm sure Jose had a list of his first choice, second choice, third choice players that he wanted to get. But we know the board at Tottenham can be a bit stingy, and we know the money's not always there, right? So they have a certain set budget, and if they can't afford to get his first choice players, then they're going to be like, how about this player, we can afford them, will they kind of go into your plans? So it's almost kind of like Jose is having to like settle and compromise to work with this Tottenham board. So he's making the best out of the players that he gets, and he has made some key signings, and you can see the difference it's made to the squad. But it's such a fragile little model that if you take away one of these like three or four like important pieces, then the whole structure just crumbles. And that's what we're seeing in Tottenham right now. Because again, I know Jose has his faults. We all know Jose has his faults. I mean, we had him as a manager, so we know how frustrating him and his tactics can be sometimes. But the guy is a proven winner, and he has gotten them to a final at least, which is, the most that they've got. Pochettino took them to the Champions League final. So he has made that progress, he has made that step. And I think it's a bit of a halfway thing. I think he's been fully backed, and maybe his methods are a little bit outdated. So it's a bit of both, to be honest. But great to see. Great to see.
If you want to buy any Spurs match for the Carabao Cup final, which is happening, you can buy that on the Spurs website. Just to clarify, they haven't won anything. It's just for the final, because that's the closest you get without bottling it. So if you want to go buy some merch, you can buy a key ring that says you made the Carabao Cup final and then lost to Man City.
Apparently Man City have got some as well, so I don't know where that's come from, because it's like I saw it when obviously Spurs were doing it. People were saying, "Why is City not getting it as well?" But I don't understand it from City because we've won.
City actually win shit.
So it's a bit random. I don't know why, as a City fan, you would buy merchandise for the final. That makes no sense.
Maybe the Champions League final, because for City that would be
I remember when we played when we first got in the Champions League, and I think we got Real Madrid in the group, and they had like scarves that were like for that occasion and stuff like that. So stuff like that, it's like because it was the first time, it makes sense. Whereas now it wouldn't, because no one would buy it right now. Obviously, at the time, it was like, oh, this is the first time we're going to the Bernabeu, and it was a bit different. But yeah,
nowadays, like when they get to the Champions League final, it'll be like, finally.
Oh God. The problem is, you normally get to a final and lose before you win, so it's not even like getting to a final. It's like, yay, we won it, because it's just like we'll have to see. Obviously, I'm assuming it's going to come sometime soon, hopefully.
I'm assuming that Spurs aren't going to win.
Too well, not that pain.
It's just, I don't know. I think Jose can probably win them a trophy. I hope it's obviously not going to be the Carabao Cup this season, because that's the only thing, unless he wins the Europa League, which he might.
But to be fair, that's the only thing I can see him winning at the minute.
Yeah.
Europa.
I can't see him. I can't.
Do you know how many good teams are still left in that, Charlotte?
Maybe they won't win a trophy this season. Maybe they won't win a trophy this season. That's a fair point. Because you've got the Carabao Cup, which if Man City stay on this form, Spurs aren't winning. Like they're not in the FA Cup anymore. Which I think Chelsea are actually going to win.
We have a good record. So
do you know what? Do you know what the problem I have is that the draw that's just happened puts a very, very good. You've got either City, Everton, United, or Leicester, any one of them. So we're going to cut two of them. Now I'm going to cut two of them. So what I would really like is United and City to go, sorry, Jan, but it's not because you're bad, it's because you're good.
Yeah,
because you're good.
You want the threats, the rivals away.
Like, can you just like lose? Like, you've got the Carabao Cup, you've got the Premier League. Do you need to be like more greedy and just take the FA Cup from us? Like, be like a little selfless. Yeah. When Champions
League did make a good point, and they were saying that there's an Everton fan actually inboxed me to say, oh yeah, we've got each other, and he was saying that it's Champions League that week. So he didn't know whether City would rest some of their key players for the Champions League game. Obviously, if we're still in it at that point. So, yeah, it's one of them things you don't know. But I think City's record in the FA Cup isn't as good as in the Carabao Cup. So I'm not too sure. And Everton are a little bit of a bogey side for us. But, yeah, we'll go on to the draw in a minute. But the last two results are Wolves 0, Southampton 2. I saw the goal, but I didn't watch the game.
The Wolves goalkeeper. That's all I have to say.
And then we'll get on to the final game, which was Barnsley 0, Chelsea 1. I know Barnsley gave you a bit of a hard time.
Can we skip on to this game, please? Okay, so I'm going to talk about it now because now I'm on a rant. So now I want to talk about it. Okay. Rudiger was probably our best player on the pitch for this game. Hudson-Odoi also. Ziyech, bye. Pulisic, bye. Kante, bye. Zuma, bye. Like Emerson, bye. Christensen, bye. I didn't even know Pulisic was on the pitch. I kept asking, is Pulisic on the pitch? I didn't know he was on the pitch. He didn't turn up. Kepa made one mistake. And Rudiger saw to that. So I'll give Kepa credit. He did. This is never coming from me again, but
it was Tammy, right? With the clearance off the line, not Rudiger.
Yeah, but the first mistake he made when he came out the goal, Rudiger kicked it away. So I'll give, like, he's made maybe two mistakes. So I'll give him two mistakes. And that's quite good for Kepa. That's good. Compared to Alisson, he made a great I'm happy with that. Rudiger was our best player, and he came on in like the 70th minute, so that says a lot for our team. Hudson-Odoi was Hudson-Odoi, so we all know he's good. Abraham got the goal, so buzzing for him. That's good. Pulisic shit. Gilmore was all right. Everyone else was just shit, utter shite. There was just nothing. The first half was slow. We were all falling asleep bored, wishing the first half would hurry up and end. The second half didn't get any better when it started. Then we got a goal, and I was like, yes, let's uplift ourselves. Let's do well. And then I got bored again, and I was just like, oh, can this end now, please? I was just waiting for it to end. We literally just all sat there, on the watch along, can this just end now, please? I'm done. If this is how we're playing against Barnsley, God help us. I don't even know what happened. I don't want to know. I mean, it was a shit show. Rudiger was probably my man of the match. Even though he was only on for 20 minutes, just to clarify that one. It was just disaster city. Ziyech. Let's talk about Ziyech right now. Ziyech, man. What is wrong with him? What is wrong with him? He is a good player. Today, he was the worst. He made Kepa look good. He made every shit player look good. I'm pretty sure he made Willian and David Luiz look good. He really did. I'm fuming. Absolutely fuming. How can you make Willian look good? How can you make David Luiz look good? His passing, he was just passing it to Barnsley. I'm like, how much did Barnsley pay you to pass it to them and not our own team? Are you colourblind? Can you not see our colours? Can you not see the colour of our shirts? Play to our colours. He was giving the ball away. He was sloppy. He was careless. So was Pulisic. But, Ziyech annoyed me more. Because Ziyech just did it, so many times. Every time he had the ball, I was just no. It got to the point where I was just can we get him off now? Someone take him off. I have genuinely had enough of this man. I don't... He frustrates me that much. He gets me that vexed. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to see Ziyech play another game until he's proved himself. And as far as I'm concerned, this game that just happened, he has not proved himself. He's done. See you later. And also for Pulisic, can we get rid of him now, please? Bye. See you later. Recurring injury, not turning up. Didn't even know you were on the pitch. That's 3 reasons for you not to be at my club anymore. I'm ready... Fuming. But we got a win.
Yeah. What did you think about the goal? Did you think it was offside? Because it kind of, when I saw the replay, it did look offside. What did you think?
It's close.
I think it was quite close. I think we're quite lucky because I don't know if VAR was involved, it might not have been given, to be honest. So we might still be here watching the game at this time right now. We might just be finishing penalties at this point. If
you know what? I was actually ready for that. I was ready for penalties and all. I thought they were going to get another goal, and I was ready for penalties and extra time. And I was like, shit, no, we can't do a Spurs. We can't do a Spurs. I
could have taken another half an hour of that game, to be honest.
Nah, that was horrible.
Really, really tragic. But also I do want to echo what Charlotte said about Rudiger. He did a good game, and you don't normally see me kind of singing his praises because it's no secret, I'm not a huge fan of his. But fair play to him. He didn't really do too much wrong today, kind of did his job. I still think he's a bit slow, lethargic sometimes when the ball's being passed around, distributed at the back. It still worries me a little bit. And, sometimes he does lose the ball in these dumb positions. And with the goalkeeper that we have in the back, it's just not something that That's good for my heart, for me watching. You know? I do want to big up Billy Gilmore though, because I thought he did really well. He was very solid. I don't think he put a foot wrong, and obviously, like fair play to him for picking out Reece James on the left, on the right. Sorry, who obviously put in the ball, which Tammy Abraham finished. So big ups to Billy Gilmore, and I do like him. I really do like him. If anything, my man of the match would have been between maybe him or Rudiger. I probably would have given it to him just because, you know, defensively he did his job as a DM. You know, we didn't concede a goal, and he was the one that put the pass and he was involved in the goal. So I was impressed by Billy Gilmore. But even so, like the highest rating I'd probably give to anybody on that team tonight was like a 6.5.
Yeah.
6.5 for like Tammy Abraham. Sorry, not even Tammy Abraham, for Billy Gilmore and for Rudiger. And I'll probably give Tammy a 6 for scoring the goal.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I don't really think anybody else kind of stood out. Another reason I think is because there were 10 changes made for the squad. And fair enough, Tuchel was still kind of auditioning players for those positions because he's still trying to figure out who his best starting 11 is. You know, we take the W and move on. I take comfort knowing that most of these players will be playing against Newcastle. They will be starting against Newcastle, which is good. You know, I know Ziyech, Pulisic coming off an injury. This was their time to prove themselves. Show them that they're there to be counted, and they just didn't turn up. It was disappointing. I'm really disappointed by Pulisic now at this point. Since that injury, I've just not seen even a glimpse of the old player who he used to be honest. Ziyech, I'll still give him a bit of time because I know he had a couple of injuries, and then obviously Frank Lampard not really playing him, not really knowing how to play him. So I'll still give him a little bit of time to ease his way back into this team. But yeah, disappointing. This was their time to, yeah. No, I do. I mean, plan to sleep.
Can we just talk about the Gilmore thing for a second? I made a very controversial comment, and I said, an unpopular opinion, I said I would rather see Gilmore instead of Jorginho Kante. And people were, and David was slamming me. And David was slamming me like, no, like, and what? He did a great job today. He did an absolutely great job today. Like, don't come for me. Like,
me since that Liverpool game, that FA
Cup
literally season. Literally, this 18, 19-year-old kid just came out there. When I saw him in the starting lineup and I saw Liverpool, like at this point we already knew they were going to be champions. I was like, oh God. Kante was injured. I was like, oh God, this poor little kid's going to get bullied off the ball. We're going to lose. Like, just might as well just progress Liverpool to the next round. And he just completely shocked me. I was just like, wow, who is this kid? Amazing, fearless, brave, courageous, tactically quality performance from this young kid. And I just knew that he was going to get better and better and better. That's why I was really upset when I heard he got injured, because I was like, no, I really wanted to see him get minutes and play and stuff. But, you know, he's still young and he's come back from this injury really, really well. He hasn't like regressed. He's really eager and hungry to prove himself. And, you know, once he puts on a bit of muscle, especially up here, up top, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Bright future.
We'll move on to the draw now. So the draw is Everton versus Man City, Leicester versus Man United, Leicester versus Southampton, and Chelsea versus Sheffield United. So how do you feel about the draw for Chelsea? Obviously, Sheffield United, you're at home.
I was quite happy. Do you know what? I was either like, I genuinely thought we was going to get pinned against Man United. Like, I genuinely had this gut feeling it was going to be Man United or Man City, and I was dreading it so much. Then City got Everton, and I was like, "Ooh, okay." And then United, they got Leicester, and I was like, "Okay." And then I realised that we had Sheffield, and I was like, "Yeah, come on, suckers!" Like, I was like, Bournemouth and Southampton is going to be a good game. I know it depends with the City game what team you bring out to whether you like kind of decide to go for the FA or the Champions League, and I think we all know which one you are going to go for.
Even their B team, right, is still good enough.
But I would never underestimate Everton though, because you never know. Like Everton are capable. Like you saw what they did against Spurs. They put Spurs to shame.
I know Kevin De Bruyne is back in training. He's kind of like back and stuff. So, obviously since Gundogan's kind of turning up and he's doing his job, it might be an idea to kind of maybe start Kevin De Bruyne in this game and like ease him back in like minutes and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. But I think
squad depth is so mad. They can rotate their squads. It's literally it's just as good as ours. Like it's better than ours.
Yeah. The Man U game is going to be very, very interesting. Obviously supporting obviously that United lose, make it a lot easier for Chelsea. So Leicester, I hear my prayers, beat United. That's great. Everton, if you could also hear my prayers and beat City, but I don't think that's going to happen. But okay, I try. I think Chelsea have got Sheffield. We'll beat them 2-1. We'll have more time by the time that it comes. So Tuchel will have had more time, which is great. And we've had quite an easy run, to be fair. We've had Morecambe, Luton, Barnsley. Well, I say Barnes. I mean, but we've got Sheffield now, and we've beaten Sheffield 4. So I say I'm not too worried. I am, like, you never know. Sheffield really pressed high with us. They came for us last time, so you never know. But we know what they can come at us with, so I feel like we should be more prepared. But yeah, they're going to be good games. Like I don't think that I can. The only one that I can call is obviously City beating Everton, but I can't really call the other games. Like United could turn up and beat Leicester, or Leicester could turn up and beat United. You never know. Bournemouth and Southampton is going to be really interesting because Bournemouth have actually impressed me. Like watching the games, they've actually impressed me. Like, and they're the only like championship side in the final. Like, respect them.
Top of the championship, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're the only ones that like have made it through, which is amazing. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good one, I think.
Yeah, it's almost like a bit of a derby, isn't it? Because they're both not that far away from each other.
Yeah,
so
no.
It'll be an interesting game. I think City and Everton, it's not as simple as it sounds. Like Everton are not an easy team for us to beat. I think Pep's been doing better there. His first season, obviously, they beat us 4-1, I think it was. And then ever since then, I think he's come out on top. But obviously, they've got Ancelotti. They've got a decent squad as well. So, I don't know.
With two managers going up against each other. Yeah, that's going to be really interesting.
Pep's, there's like opposites though. Pep's like the one that you can see shouting on the sideline, like "Come on!" Whereas Carlo Ancelotti, I just want to see him against Pep with his bovril, like, or I just want to see him with his bovril, like, yeah.
When Dominic Calvert-Lewin scores, he'll just be like,
"Yep," just sipping it, like giving Pep the side eye, like, "Yeah, that just happens." Like,
I told you about this, you.
Oh, I've never been more excited about Ancelotti. Literally gives me life goals. I'm not even gonna lie. He genuinely gives me life goals. Like I didn't think I could love the man anymore until the Everton game when he's just sat there like that was the winning goal and he didn't even. The man's a legend.
Well, he's seen a lot, hasn't he? So that's nothing. That result.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of attitude annoys Pep though, because Pep wants this kind of fight, and I feel like if he's just sat there cool as a cucumber, I can see Pep like losing his shit even more. Which I can't complain. I like to see this happen.
I actually before the start of the season, I was like, I want Everton to win the FA Cup, but now they're playing us. Obviously, I don't, because my granddad supports Everton, and he's going to be 90 like, in August. I was like, it'd be perfect for them to win the FA Cup just before he turns 90. But obviously, now City are playing. It's like that.
Obviously, you've got to like take one for the team and just let Everton win. You know, you've just got to message Pep and be like, my granddad's going to be 90. If you could just like let City lose, it's for my granddad. He's going to be 90. Come on.
Yannick is a savage. I like winning more. Sorry, I like winning more.
Literally, I know what winning is every year, but I'm just gonna let you know that I'm not gonna be like not winning. Man City win every year.
They've spoiled me now. I've got used to it.
Yeah, no, literally.
I think Liverpool would not be happy if Everton were to win a trophy after they've waited so long to win, and then that's what they've got over Everton at the moment, obviously. So yeah,
Liverpool will actually be crying. Oh my goodness!
Especially if they don't win anything, and Everton win, like they will be.
And then it gets lifted, and Everton like having a parade in Liverpool with their cup, and the Liverpool fans, and we didn't get one.
No, but we got Europa League. We didn't get a trophy, but we got Europa League winning.
Do you know what someone said though, which is really true, and I didn't think about? They said that like, if it stays like this, like if fans aren't allowed in for the rest of the season, like Liverpool will never be able to sing like the champions and all this, because by the time they go back, there'll be new champions. So, like, that's a bit tight. It's a bit tight. They waited so long.
And you might have to change your to "You'll never walk alone" to "You'll always walk alone," because they haven't been. Sorry, Anne.
Right, well, just go to I just wanted to get the Premier League fixtures and just get a quick preview of what you think the score will be. So your game at the weekend is against
Newcastle on Monday.
Newcastle on Monday night. So what's your score prediction for that game?
I'd like to say a sturdy 2-0. But I'm a little bit concerned now for how we played today. So I would usually be, I'd be like with my chest like 3-0, but I'm gonna just say 2-0. Just 2-0, thanks.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know where the goals are coming from. That's the one thing that's like concerning me, because as much as I'd like to think on paper we should be beating this Newcastle team by 3 goals or more. And again, I don't trust our defense. I trust it even less without Thiago Silva there as well. Again, I still don't think we've got that established like centre back pairing. There's always kind of like a different back 4 or back 3 in front of the goalkeeper as well. So I understand that doesn't help the goalkeeper's confidence, because it's just like, wow, last game I was playing with these 3 in front. Now I've got like, 2 new people now in front of me for this game. So I do think we're likely to possibly concede a goal. And seeing as we're struggling to score goals as well, I mean, I would absolutely love for Timo Werner to finally get a goal in this game. I'm still not going to place too much hope that it's going to happen in this game, but I think I'm going to go for a 2-1 Chelsea. So we'll win, but it's not going to be easy or convincing.
Yeah, I think they've got their main striker out, haven't they? Callum Wilson. So that's
but we've still got Willock. Willock though to worry about.
Come on, Charles.
No. It's my team I'm worried about. It's not Willock. It's my defence and my goalkeeper I'm worried about. I'm not worried about Willock. I'm worried about my defence and what defence goes out on Monday and what goalkeeper comes out. That is my worry. Not anything else. Willock doesn't scare me. Me dog could take him on and do better than him. But our defence, that's another story. Like, don't get me started on that. It's like a chocolate teapot. It looks useful, but the minute you pour boiling water in it, it's completely irrelevant. Like, it's dead.
My heart when I see Saint Maximin running towards our goal, I'm gonna be like, oh God. Oh dear.
Literally.
Yeah, I agree with Lambs. I think it'll be quite close. I think a 2-1. I don't think you'll lose, but I don't think it'll be like a high scoring game. The other games, we've got Tottenham at home.
Well,
Really, on paper, we should be winning. but I think they've lost the last 4 games or something like that. So that doesn't give me much hope because it's kind of like that's not going to last forever, that run of bad games. They're also a little bit of a bogey team for us. I'd like to think we can win because we're at home and the form that we're in. But yeah, it's Tottenham. Our record against Tottenham is a bit of a weird one. It's kind of like they go through periods where we can't beat them, and then we go for periods where they can't beat us and stuff like that. It's really strange. So hopefully we win. I don't like
3-1 City. Tottenham are due a win or a draw or something soon. I mean, they got the win against West Brom, so I think maybe that kind of like helped them. So it wasn't like 4 like defeats in a row.
Yeah.
So at least they kind of had that to to make things slightly better. I just think City are just too good for them. Having Kane back into their squad, that's why I gave them that 1 goal, because I do feel like they probably will maybe. Because of City's high line, maybe Son, Kane, one of them might be able to break the lines at one point. But I think, your Diaz, Stones, Cancelo, Laporte, they're just too good. I just don't. It's too much for them. Too much for them. In the end, I just think I don't see anybody stopping them, especially not this Tottenham side. I feel like they need to get wins against smaller teams, smaller sides to kind of go on a bit of a run. This is not the game for them. So 3-1 City.
Yeah, I think Diaz was ill the other day, so he's not been in training, but I don't know if he'll come back before the game or whether he will be out.
I heard they were like resting him as a precaution. Yeah, but I think he's fine. So yeah,
he's definitely not injured. It's like an illness. So hopefully, I'd play him even if he's ill, to be honest, because he's so good. But yeah, I think it'll be a close game because I think after conceding 5 to Everton, they're not going to want to concede a whole heap of goals to City. So I think they will go super, super defensive. But City have been breaking down teams that are super, super defensive. So hopefully we can win. I do think it'll be like a 2-1. I think it'll be quite close. Shal, what do you think for the City Tottenham game?
I'm going to be a little controversial because I don't know. I'm going to say 3-2.
All right. To City or Spurs?
No. Obviously to City. But I'm just giving myself the extra goal because you never know. If Son and Harry Kane turn up, that you have a problem. That's my only issue why I'm giving them the extra goal. Is not because of their whole team. It's because of Son and Kane and how on form they have been. Like one of the best partnerships in the league this season. So
yeah, he definitely. Son always scores against City. So I think that's
he likes it. It's like his pride and joy. He has to score. He's like, oh, is this City?
I feel
to get another goal.
I feel so sorry for them too, because like both of them deserve to be playing for teams that can win something. But
they're not. If they stay there, they're not.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. They both deserve to be playing for any one of the other top like teams above them. Basically, like a top. They actually need to be playing. They deserve to be playing for a top 4 side. So Manchester United, City, Liverpool, Chelsea. They deserve to be playing for one of those teams.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Someone was saying today, like, Harry Kane is getting to the point of his career where if he doesn't kind of move now, like, even if he wins the trophy with Spurs, if it's the Carabao Cup, it's not really good enough, do you know what I mean, for what he's done in the league. Like, to go and win a Carabao Cup, yeah, great, you've won a Carabao Cup, but it's kind of like some City players have, like, 3 back-to-back ones. So it's kind of, it's one of them things. It's not, I don't think it's enough for him.
Just look at what David Silva's won in his City career alone to tell you what you need to be aiming for to win as a player. Like, and a Carabao Cup is just, it's not good enough. You're not going to be remembered. People should be like, oh, Harry Kane, oh, the guy that won that Carabao Cup with Tottenham that one time. Okay. Right. Yeah, now that you mention it, it does ring a bell. Like nobody wants to, but if you say David Silva, David Silva, oh my God, do you remember that guy? And you won't even need to say anymore because everybody will know. Your credentials speak for yourself, speak for itself in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think I remember like when they last won a trophy, like 2008, I remember Bale lifting it and Bale being the key guy. But then obviously he went to Madrid and won loads of stuff. So now when he's back, it's not too bad. But yeah, I think Kane probably needs to leave for his own good. Definitely. I don't know whether Son will leave as well. I don't know. But he's too good to be.
I think if Son goes, Harry Kane. If Kane goes, I think Son will go with. I think Kane is getting into his career now. He's 28. Like, if you're looking at it realistically, how long left of your career, knowing that Kane's injury prone, like how long left have you got in your prime before you don't become that? Like, I think he has to make a decision, and I think he has to make a decision very soon. I think he next season, if he doesn't move, I think his career's done. I don't think he'll win any trophies. He's not going to win any trophies at Spurs, and I think if he doesn't go at the end of this season, I think it's done. I don't think. And you know what? It's going to be such a waste because Harry Kane is capable of doing such big things. Even Son is capable of doing big things, but. I don't see it at Spurs. I don't see Daniel Levy giving Spurs shitloads of money to spend at the end of the season to kind of buy new players and get rid of old ones. I don't see any of this. So I think I don't know. I don't know. The only way out is if Son and Kane leave, and the only way they're going to do it is if either I think Kane needs to go either. To abroad to Spain or Germany, something like that, or even to another team in the Premier League. Like anyone will take him. Anyone would take him. Anyone would take Son as well. Like
a lot of teams take them in the Premier League, out the Premier League. A lot of teams.
Just to clarify, Harry and Son, if you are thinking of leaving, join Chelsea. We have Champions League. We are the only London team with Champions League. Like, come join us.
Do you think they would get for Son and Kane? How much? That's a good question. How much do you think they sell them for?
Kane is worth, personally, I believe, Kane, I'm going to be controversial. I think he's worth about 70, 80 mil.
I think he'll be more because he's British, because he's English. So I don't think he will actually go anywhere in the Prem because I think no one will be able to afford him. Because even Chelsea that can afford him on paper, I think Spurs ain't going to want to sell. So it's going to be whatever he's supposed to cost, they're going to add like another 50 mil. So we can't buy him.
I think they're going to sell them as a bundle deal. I personally believe that is what they'll do. Because if they bundle it, they could probably get more than if they would sell them separately. So if they were to bundle it, I think they'd get like 180 mil, 190 mil for them. That may be going on 200 mil. Like if they were to bundle them together, because you know Spurs are going to add on all these extra mils, like because they can. But yeah, I think if they sell them together, I think it's going to be a better deal. But they both probably won't want to do the same shit. So I don't know.
I can kind of see Harry Kane at Real Madrid though. Something about that just tells me he'll kind of go the same route as Bale.
The only white shirt he'll win a trophy in.
Basically, yeah. I think it's interesting.
I can see Son in City or Liverpool. I can see Son at City or Liverpool. I really can.
Yeah. I think City would definitely take Son, but it's just whether Spurs would sell to us. That's the only thing. And obviously, there's probably cheaper options elsewhere just because they're not in the Premier League. So I don't know. The problem that they've got is time is not on their side. Like one is 27 and one is 28. So they're actually at the sort of end of their career. So the thing is, they might get that big money move, but I feel like if you can get Haaland, who's at the start of his career, and Kane that's at the end, I'd be looking at Haaland because he's a long-term option, whereas Kane, like you say, he's injury-prone as well, and he's sort of at the end of his career. I don't know. Like, City would probably still buy him, but I think it is a bit more risky than getting someone young.
Can they please buy him, because we're looking at Haaland and we need him. We really do. Which is actually funny, because if you think about it, it's crazy, because City, Chelsea, and Manchester United all need like a quality striker. Like, need that. We really need.
I want Kane to come to Man United, and imagine Kane, Rashford, and Martial. I mean, maybe take away Martial. Literally, I was just about to say that. Take Martial away, like.
Martial's just ruining that.
You know what? Why don't you just take the bundle and get Son and Kane and have Kane, Son, and Rashford? Like, there we go. Yeah. I've sorted Man United's problems out.
Yeah, I think Martial will be gone if they bought Kane. Like, it would be one of them where Martial leaves and Kane comes in.
Has to be.
Yeah, it has to be. Like, Martial's got to.
Gunnar says Kane never. Gunnar Larry says Kane never gives you a full season, though it's a huge risk buying Kane.
Well, this is the point, is that it's not. Do you know what? He can give you a full season. That's the difference. He can give you a full season. He's played in every game because he's needed. If he went to a team that had decent backup strikers, you wouldn't need to play Kane in every game. You would be able to rest him for the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, like, and not every Premier League game. Like, the problem is that they rely on Kane. That's the difference. Now, if he went to a different team when they didn't rely on him, there would be a difference, and he would be able to give you a season. But because Kane is so relied on, like him and Son. Literally, how Son's not got an injury blows my mind, because they're both so relied on. They play every game, like, they don't come off, like, and that's why Kane gets injured. Like, also people tackle him because around this time of the year, they're like, oh, it's time for Kane to get injured. Let's get him injured. Like, and then that's not me being horrible, but that's how it works. Like, around this time of year, he is always injured, and it's always due to a bad tackle, because people know that's his weakness, and that's a fact. Now, if he wasn't as relied on, people wouldn't be doing this. Like, the tackles wouldn't be made. I think if he was at City or Liverpool, I think it would be a different Kane, and I think you'd get the best out of him, and you'd get the whole season for him.
Yeah, I think he'd be great at City, to be honest. Not that I'm a massive fan of Kane, but he would be excellent at City. G&A TV, big up to them, make sure you go and subscribe. They said Haaland is the perfect fit for City, in my opinion. I actually agree. It'd be so nice to get someone in that. I feel like if he came in, you wouldn't feel so bad about Aguero leaving. Whereas everyone else, it's a little bit.
So bad. We're just, the rest of us are just like, no, we can't. They're already, City already so good. Like, why are they getting better? And he would be like even better. You guys
can we not?
Unstoppable. We'll just be like, oh God, it's City next week. Oh God, let's not watch it. Let's go out instead.
G&A TV, Charlotte, I can fix your problems for the future. Sal Havertz, Werner, Ziyech. They're only just
I mean, ads, because half of this channel is Chelsea.
Yeah,
so this is hating Chelsea. This is ads.
I can agree on the Ziyech. Like, if Ziyech doesn't improve, then I can see, like, I mean, give him more time. Like, obviously, I'm not even playing that game, but I think if we look at around this time next season and nothing's improved, I think maybe we need to think about chucking him out on loan. But the only person that I'm ready to get rid of is, as I've said this so many times before, is Pulisic. I am ready to get rid of Pulisic. Like, bye, see you later. Pulisic, Kepa, Rudiger, Christensen. Like, all those, bye, that's my list to go. And the only reason Kepa's still here is because no one bloody wants him, not even the charity shops. It's going to have to be a charity donation to like a League Two, football club. No one else wants him.
Yeah, I mean, we need a centre back, we need a natural DM, and we need a striker. Like this is what we need.
I want a centre back as well. I want a centre back.
Hmm?
I want a centre back as well.
Will said if we sign Haaland, he's expecting Roman to get the money out and buy Ramos, Kunde, and Oblak.
I want Oblak.
And we need a goalkeeper, yeah.
Yeah. I've said this, and everyone like debates me. Like, the reason people think that Mendy is good is because Kepa was that bad. Like, that's my problem. Like, Mendy is Mr. Tickle, as I call him, Mr. Tickle. He's quite irrelevant to me. Do you know what? We've never at Chelsea had a world class. Well, I mean, we haven't bought a world class. I mean, we have had Peter Cech, but when was the last time after that we kind of bought a world class goalkeeper?
We kind of made him. He wasn't world class.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, we've never actually bought a world class goalkeeper. We've just bought basic, average, really shit goalkeepers that turn even shitter when they turn up at Chelsea. So I'm ready to get rid of Kepa, sell Mendy and Kepa as a bundled deal. Get rid of Rudiger, get rid of Christensen. Maybe get rid of Jorginho too. And then I'm ready to go. Like, I don't want David Luiz back. Like, you can keep David Luiz. I do not want David Luiz. You can keep him. I don't want him. See you later. Don't want him at all. Like that. We got rid of the man for a reason. Yeah, Courtois was basic. No, sorry, hon. I'm on one now. Like, people ain't gonna be stopping me. Like,
Ad said, what happens when you come on the watch along and support West Ham?
Yes.
Now you know this is ads. You know this is ads.
Of course, ads. Like Jem would never. Like Jem's a Chelsea fan. He would never.
Kavish says no one is buying Kepa. Abdi says to you, Charlotte, you said earlier you haven't seen Pulisic do anything on the Chelsea shirt. What did he do post-lockdown? He's one of the best players in the Premier League.
I mean, I don't really know what you were watching, Han, and what I was watching. He turned up on, like, he had a few moments of greatness. It wasn't all these games that he had. He had moments of greatness. There's a difference. You can have bursts of energy and bursts of amazement, but he still doesn't turn up. Yeah, I don't need wine.
He had a couple of games at the start of last season. It even took him a while to kind of get himself going at the start of last season. And then he had a couple of good games. Then he scored that hat trick against Burnley. And then he got injured. And then we didn't see him again until the back end of last season. And then he had those some good games where he turned up and he was brilliant and he played well, literally like he did when he scored the hat trick against Burnley. And then the FA Cup final comes. We all know what happens. He scores the opening goal and he comes off injured. And since then, we haven't seen a hint of that player since then. So I think that means maybe since this new season has begun, he's not turned up at all.
I think my problem is that he had an injury. Cool story. We all have injuries. He's injury prone. That's a big red flag for me already, being injury prone at so young. He's 22. And I think he's been injured 20 times. That's not good. That is not good. Okay. Secondly, when Hudson-Odoi came back from a worse injury, I repeat, look at him. He's literally slaying it. He's bossing it. He's come out, even when we were Lampard era, he's turning up. He's the only player actually turning up. Where was Pulisic? Missing in action. Where's Pulisic now? Missing. I didn't even know he was on the pitch today. I had to ask if he was on the pitch.
Yeah.
that says something if I'm asking if a player is on the pitch. And I'm being genuine here. I had to ask because I forgot he was on the pitch. Like, that is not how you play it. Like, if Pulisic had actually started turning up, I probably wouldn't be like this. But firstly, he's way too injury prone. And, like, I've really had enough of that. Like, I don't think we need any injury prone players. Like, we have to, like,
we don't need any more, that's for sure.
No, I'm not saying he's a very good player. He's in really bad form, like really bad form. But this bad form, the injury proneness, has not just been at Chelsea. If you look at him like at Borussia Dortmund, he had injury problems then. Like, it's like, how many times can you like have a player injured, not have them, have to get them back into the Chelsea side, then like wait a few months for them to actually turn up again? Like, that's not how I want to play. That's not how I play at all. So,
like, we forget when he arrived at Chelsea, he was injured. So Lampard couldn't even play him straight away. He had to ease him back in. So it took like 2 months for that to even happen in the first place last season. So, and I do understand Charlotte's point. He's a very, very injury prone player. And for somebody of his age, that is a worry, especially considering how much we spent on him.
Yeah. And I'm not saying he's a bad player. When he's on form, I don't want Sancho, thank you. I do not want Sancho. Thank you very much. No, thank you. I want Haaland. 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 Do you know what my problem is? Is that we've had a few players from the Bundesliga come over here and we've destroyed them. I don't want to ruin Jadon Sancho. I do not want Chelsea to be responsible for ruining Jadon Sancho. I want Man United to be responsible for ruining Jadon Sancho. I do not want to be responsible for this. I want to have no part in this. I would like to be like, nope, sorry, you can take Satan, take that. No, that's not fair. I don't want to be part of it because, like, Jadon Sancho's such a talent and he's got so much potential. I don't want to be the one who he comes to our team and we absolutely ruin him. Look at Havertz. Look at Werner. Like, look at Ziyech. Like, I am not going to be responsible for any of this. So I'm take Haaland. I'll be responsible for ruining Haaland, but I'm not being responsible for you ruining Jadon Sancho. I'd actually like Jadon Sancho to do well in the England team, so I'm back in my England team. Germany, let's go. Let's ruin their team, but not England, not Sancho. No, thank you. Want no part in ruining Jadon Sancho. Thank you very much.
I think Indiana. Yeah, Indiana said Arsenal probably buy him. I think he means.
Yeah.
Arsenal need more than that. Arsenal need a revamp of the majority of their team.
It doesn't matter, Charles. We like to throw off the players that we don't want onto them anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Arsenal, like, you can carry on. Like, you can have our sloppy seconds. You always do.
That's an option.
Abdi, I've got her back, my boy. Sorry. Just on this, but you know, I'm sure Hazard was quality. I can't really. He's better for us, but obviously Hazard was unreal for Chelsea. So yeah, it's quite hard. Will says Sancho or Neto the best winger options.
Yeah, I'm not having Sancho, so I'm taking the second option. I refuse to be responsible. I refused. I know he is amazing. I'm not saying that. Look at every player that has come from the Bundesliga to our team. Look what has happened to them. They are not even a shell of themselves. So if Man U want to take Sancho and absolutely destroy him, fair play. But Sancho is such a good player, I'm taking no responsibility. I want no part in this. And Jerry, you just want Sancho because you want him in your team. But, like, if you want him, carry on. Haaland could. It's a fair point. He really could. The way we're going with Bundesliga players, we might as well just destroy the whole of the Bundesliga. Like, the way we're going, strikers, defenders, midfielders, centre backs, left backs, right backs, goalkeepers. Do you know what? If we bought Oblak, I think we destroy him too. Look at our role of goalkeepers at the minute. We've got who have we got? Oh yeah, Kepa. He was actually okay. Came to us, shit. Mendy, he was average. Came to us, not great.
Indiana's throwing shade.
Oh, Indiana, no.
Haaland going to Chelsea. I see him going to a big club.
Not United then. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I can't see him going to United then.
I don't think
No,
about
that-
the United fan base if Jaden comes to United. Stick to farmers like Werner.
Nah, mate, you can have Jadon Sancho. You can be the one destroying him. And when we all come to you, like, you've destroyed Jadon Sancho and you've ruined him as a player, we will all be coming to you then. Don't you worry. I'll remember this shit.
Mate, he's not going to.
I don't think Haaland will go to United. I don't think it will happen. I don't know. His dad has a big say.
I think Jadon Sancho might go to United.
Yeah, Sancho, yeah.
But Haaland, I think, is more likely to go to Chelsea.
It's interesting, though, because his reason for leaving Man City was that he was homesick. And then he went to Dortmund. So, I don't know. His best friend was playing for Arsenal at the time. So, I don't know if he was trying to get a move to Arsenal. And he ended up going to Dortmund. I don't know. But, yeah, I could see Sancho at United. That's if he wants to come back to Manchester. But yeah, we'll wrap up there. Thank you, girls, for coming on. If you haven't already liked the video, subscribe. Shall, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter down below. Oh shit, this side, there you go. At Charl_Strong on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me on my brand new channel, Strong TV. Make sure you like and subscribe to that, please. And I've got a brand new show on Saturday with Lambs called The Wine and Football Show. So make sure you check that out. You can also find me on GNA TV on the Women's Show, Friday, 8 p.m. You can also find me on the Terrace on Friday at 9 p.m. with Kendall for her show. I'm usually here, there, and everywhere. Find me on here. Find me on GNA TV. Yeah, just like to go around everywhere, you know?
Yeah, make sure you all subscribe to them. Lambs, where can they find you?
I mean, yeah, literally, just to echo what Charles said, here, there, and everywhere. So yeah, I'm on Charles' channel, Strong TV. So we're gonna start a new show together on Saturdays as well. We were there earlier, watching the live stream. You can also find me on GNA TV. So me and Sophia host the Chelsea Ladies show, and Charles on the panel along with Beth Joyce, Beth and Joyce as well. And we have some other lovely lady rival fans as well. So Yannicka, we need to get you on soon. When we're coming up again soon, we're not going to be looking forward to that. It's going to be a.
Can we do it after the City game? So if we actually like shockingly beat them, like not that we ever are, but like if there's like that minuscule of hope that maybe we draw against them, like be excited.
Let's hope.
I mean,
otherwise, embarrassing. It'll be like us for the whole show. Like, so yeah.
I literally, I'll be turning up on my funeral attire for that day.
It's right at the end of the season, so it'll be interesting at that time to see what's happening. Whether it's the title race, top four, like I don't know.
Top four because it's
quite late on.
I'll be so upset. Yeah. Also on the Midnight Vibe show on the Football Terrace as well. Here and there on Monster CFC show streams as well. I'm sure I do show bits and bobs as well on his channel called What Now. So we talk about football, politics, races, and stuff like that. So check that out as well. On socials, I'm on Instagram, so my handle's over there too. So yeah.
And you can find me on Sarcasm City mainly. So make sure you subscribe to them, or you can follow me on Twitter at ItchyAndCity. So we'll see you next week at the same time. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't already liked the video, subscribe to the channel and share across your socials. Goodbye.